Welcome to What's the Deal with Sam? Starring Sam Lilly. Join Sam as he discusses a wide variety of topics.
Batman.
Now let's start the show.
Thank you. What's the deal with naming games? It's like naming movies with the ground. Apparently this is something that's really hard. I mean, I know I talked about it before in the previous video about how Doom is just doing the whole thing. This whole stupid trend of games not being able to come up with a new fucking name, so they just name it, the name of another game in the series, probably usually the first game in the series, is using that name again, with the only real distinguishing factor being the years that they came out, even though the year's not technically part of the title. And even though they're two totally different games, and that's fucking annoying, because if you're totally making a different game, if it's supposed to be like a remake, you could still maybe do something with the name, or if it's supposed to be like, I don't know, a totally different game, or something like way different, or some in-between thing between a remake and a different game, or retelling, whatever the fuck. Thing is, it's not hard to do this. All you gotta do for naming your new game is to put the newest number on it, or just make up some other fucking subtitle. That's all you have to do. It's not difficult. And you would think that all the time these people spend working on these games, one guy would have had, in that amount of time, would have come up with a name that was better than one they used how many fucking years ago? It's ridiculous. And this wouldn't be so bad, but on top of it, we also have this trend, which I think was bigger more in the 90s, but I think it still goes on a bit today, where you have the game come out and it gets ported to multiple systems, right? But it gets a different name, even though it's the same game. Like Duke Nukem 3D came out on MS-DOS or whatever. That came out, and then it came out on Nintendo 64 as Duke Nukem 64, and then it came out on fucking PlayStation as Duke Nukem Total Meltdown. Okay, that's just one example. Or like, how about fucking Kirby's Adventure come out on the NES, and then Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland was the remake on the Game Boy Advance. Why is the name different if it's the same fucking thing? Why is it nowhere near what the fucking original title was? It's fucking stupid. Like, it's what the fuck? If it's the same game and it has a different name, but if it's a different game it has the same name, this is completely ass backwards. Why are they fucking doing this? It's insanity. But maybe, I'll admit this, maybe they're not just idiots, just lazy fuckers who can't be bothered to come up with a new name because apparently that's just way too hard. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it's just a stupid fucking greedy marketing ploy so that they can call a game a different thing when it comes out, right? So then you want to buy that game, because, the series is hot. One of them is a really good seller. So you want to buy all these other ones that are in that series, and they're hoping that you'll buy it and bring it home and then, play it, and then realize, oh shit, like this is the same game, and be too lazy to want to go back and like return it and get your money back. It's a short-term idea for that. And of course, if you name your game the same thing, right, as something that came out years ago, you're really only going to fool, obviously it's to fool people, that's the point. So you're only really going to fool younger kids who, don't know any better, or, the parents who, don't give a shit about video games and aren't informed on it. Because fans of a series are going to see this new game and they're going to know that even though it has the same name, they're going to be following it, they're going to realize this is a totally different game. However, people who don't follow it are the ones who are going to get fucked over because they're going to be like totally new to it. They're going to hear people talking about how great the previous game was, how great that classic title was, and since it has the same name, they're going to see a game with that name and be like, oh, I'm going to play that game because people said it was great. And like, I think they're banking on that, really lazy extra bit of cash for people who aren't going to do it, and that's just greedy fucking shit. So either they're lazy fuckers or they're greedy bastards. You take your pick, okay? I'll give you that much. I I guess what I'm saying is, what's the deal with doing that when it doesn't seem like it's going to really help that much? It's a short-term idea for what's maybe a long-term problem, like maybe just make a really good game, give it its own name, and have it stand on its own merits. And when you port a game, maybe, give it the same name so you're not trying to trick people into buying the same thing over again. Let it sell the way it's going to sell based on what it is, because using the same name might actually make it sell even better than trying to make people double up on it, okay? I mean, bottom line, if you have... Okay, fucking bottom line. If it's the same fucking game, give it the same fucking name. And if it's a different fucking game, give it a different fucking name.
What's the deal with Sam? What's the